we'll be using two colors of yarn, so the yellow and the green. So this is the Patterns Inspired 150 gram 75% acrylic 25% wool yarn, while this is the Patterns Highland bulky yarn, the 100 gram 75% acrylic 25% wool yarn. So we'll be using two of these together and one of this. We'll also be using a 6mm crochet hook, our yarning needle, scissors, and our D-rings for the handles. We'll start off by making 19 chains, which I already did, and we'll work single crochets back into each of the 19 chains that we have to finish up row 1. Okay, so I just finished making single crochets into each and every of the 19 stitches or the 19 chains. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. Now this is where our pattern starts. We made 19 chains because we needed to have an odd number, basically. So we are going to be making 3 single crochet decreases in the middle of row 1.5. So we're about to start row 1.5. If you don't understand what I mean by row 1.5, just go watch my video where I explained how I count my rows and why I count it this way. So back to what we're saying. For row 1.5, we're about to start row 1.5, and I said we're going to make 3 single crochet decreases in the middle of row 1.5. So if we make 8 single crochets going this way, or rather 9 single crochets going this way, the 10th one will be the middle one. And from the 10th one, so if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this 10th one will be the middle of our work, because if I count this side, I'm going to have 9 here as well, because the entire thing we have 19. So if I count from here, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 this way, 9 this way, and the middle one, the 10th one, is the middle of our work. So now we are going to make 3 single crochet decreases left and right of the middle one. So when we make 8 single crochets and get to this place, on the 9th one and the 10th one and the 11th one, we'll single crochet into 3 of them, making them one chain, thereby reducing this from 19 to 17. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm just going to start making single crochets into each and everything till I get to the 9th stitch. Like I said, we have 9 this side, 9 this side, and the 10th one is the middle of our work. And I said we are going to turn the 10th one, the 9th one this side, and the 9th one this side into one single crochet. So I've made 8 right now. Into the 9th one, the 10th, and the 11th one, I'm just going to make single crochets and join them together. So basically, go into this one, pull up, this is the 9th, and then I'll go into the 10th one, pull up, I'll have 3 on my hook, and I'll go into the 11th one. The 11th one is basically counting 9 this way, and now I have 4 on my hook. I'm then going to pull through all of them, turning all 3 into one single crochet. So I turned the 9th one here, the 10th one, and the 11th one, or the 9th one if you count from the left to the right, into one single crochet. And now when I keep on making single crochets going this side, I'll just make single crochets going this side. And once you do it, you notice your work kind of like curve this way, which is what mine is doing. So I'll then make single crochets into each and everything till I get to the end. So I just got to the end, and this is what I have. This is what my work looks like. So it looks this way. So in the middle here is where I made the single crochet. Like I told you, we have 19. And if you divide 19 into 2 minus 1, we'll basically have 9 on each side, which is 18, plus the 1 will be 19. So if we count 9 from this side, 9 from this side, the 10th one is going to be the middle one. And in that middle one, we are going to join that one, the one on the left, which is the 9th counting from this side, and the one on the right, which is the 9th counting from the left. So that's basically joining on 9, 10, 11. We turn 3 of them into one single crochet. Now if I chain my work and turn, whenever you do that, you would have reduced your work by 2 single crochets. So we had 19 when we started, and as we just made that increase on row 1.5, we reduced it to 17. So if I count it, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we basically just reduced it into, or reduced 2 basically, or removed 2 basically. So now we're basically just going to keep on making our normal single crochets till we get to row 4.5. And when we get to row 4.5, I'll show you the next decrease you need to make. So just continue making single crochets into each and every stitch of this 17 back and forth till you get to row 4.5. Okay, so I just finished row 4, 1 2 3 4, and I'm about to start row 4.5. Now we are also going to make 3 single crochet decreases at row 4.5, same thing in the middle. So now we started with 19 chains and we made 3 single crochet decreases and turned them into 1 single crochet, and we reduced 2 basically, and we had 17. The same thing we are going to do here. Now we have 17, and when we make our decrease in the middle here, we will then have 15. So same thing we did for here, we're going to decrease in the middle and left and right of the one in the middle. We have 17 single crochet rows or single crochet stitches here, and the middle one is going to be 9, because if we count 8 this side and count 8 this side, it's going to be 16. So in the 9th one is going to be the middle one. That means we're going to decrease from 8, 9, and 10, or rather 8, 9, and 8 from this side. If you're finding it hard to do the maths I just did, you can basically just count from both ends and then find the middle, put your stitch marker, or let me just do it. So if you count from both ends, so we count 1 here, 2 here, 2 here, 3 here, 3 here, 4 here, 4 here, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, and we are going to have 1 left, which is going to be 9. So you can put your stitch marker here, so you know this is where you are going to. So that means we're going to turn 1, 2, 3, the one on the right and the one on the left of the middle one. Turn 3 of them into 1 single crochet. So the same thing we did, we're just going to make single crochets till we get to the one before where our stitch marker is, which is basically the 8th one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now on the 8th one, the 9th one where our stitch marker is, and the 10th one, we'll turn them into 1 single crochet. Same thing we did for this one. So I'm just going to go in, pull up, take this out, go into that one, pull up, I'll have 3, and go into the 3rd one, pull up, I'll then have 4, and pull through all 3. And once I do that, I've turned 3 of them into 1 single crochet. Then I'll keep on making my single crochets into the remaining stitches I have. And you notice that when you do that as well, this place is going to bend or going to curve like the first one did. So I'm just going to make single crochets till I get to the end of my work. So I just go to the end of my work. This is what I have. We'll have our work curving this way. So this is row 4.5. I just finished row 4.5, about to start row 5. So the first place we made 3 single crochet decreases was at row 1.5. The next one we just did was at row 4.5. We have 3 more to do. The next one will be at row 7.5. The same thing we did here, in the middle, left and right, turn them into 1 single crochet. The next one will be at row 10.5, and the last one will be at row 13.5. And the entire thing we are going to do, we are going to have 15 rows in total. So you just have 3 more decreases to make, and we are going to have 15 rows in total. So I'm going to go off camera and work my 15 rows. Okay, so I'm finally done, and this is what I have. So we have 15 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have 15 rows. We started with 19 chains. We decreased at rows 1.5, 4.5, 7.5, 10.5, and 13.5. So we made 3 single crochet decreases like I showed you. And if you finish, this is what you should have. Your work should curve this way. And you need to make 3 of this. So I already made 2 more. So these are the remaining 2. The exact same thing we just did for this one is what you're going to do for here. So when you're done with 3 of them, you should have 3 of them looking like this. So 1, 2, 3, the same thing, all 15 rows, same 5 decreases in the same 5 spots, 1.5 till 13.5. So you need to make 3 of this. Now after this, the next part will be to make the smaller size, because we are going to have 5, but 3 of these, which are these 3, are going to be like this way, and the remaining 2 will be on the sides here. So we're going to make the remaining 2 now. To start, we are going to chain 17, and once you're done with your 17 chains, we'll make single crochets back into each and every stitch. So I just finished making single crochets back into each and every stitch, and I just finished row 1. So now I'll chain my work and turn, and now I'm about to start row 1.5. Again, if you don't understand what I mean by row 1.5, watch my video where I explained how I count my rows and you understand. I'm going to link it in the description below. Okay, now for this one, the same way we made these 3 single crochet decreases in the middle for the first one that we did, basically these first 3, we are going to do the same thing here. The only difference is that the places or the rows where we'll make those decreases will be different. So for this one, we'll be making decreases at rows 1.5, rows 4, 6.5, 9, and 11.5. That's the only difference. So we're just going to make decreases in those rows in the middle. So now we're about to start row 1.5, and for row 1.5, I'm going to make 3 single crochet decreases in the middle of this row. Now, I explained how to get the middle if the earlier way I explained it was a bit confusing for you. So the easiest way to do it is to basically count from both ends till we get to the middle, then we'll put our stitch marker. So if I count from both ends, I count 1 here, I count 1 here. So I'm basically counting the single crochet stitches we have. If I take the second one on this side, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, seventh one, eighth one. And each time you do this, you're always meant to have 1 in the middle. So this one that we have left in the middle, we'll put our stitch marker here. So I'm just going to put this here. So this is the middle of our work. Now we are going to work single crochets till we get to this one before the middle. So not the middle, but this one before the middle. Now I basically stopped here, which is the one before where we have our stitch marker, the one before the middle of our work. So now into this one where we have our stitch marker and the one after it, those 3 single crochet stitches, we are going to turn them into 1 single crochet. So I'm going to go into this first one before the stitch marker, pull up, go into the one that has the stitch marker, which is this one I'm taking out the stitch marker from, pull up, and go into the third one and pull up, and now I have 4 on my hook. Then I'll pull through everything. So basically just turned 1, 2, 3 into 1 single crochet. Now I'll continue making my single crochets into the rest. And if you notice something, whenever we decrease in the middle, the number we have on the left is going to be the same thing with the number we have on the right. So if I ignore 1, 2, 3 single crochets and count the ones I have here, you see that I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Same thing, if I count the one after decreasing 3 of them, I'll have the same number, 7, as I have here, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it should always be like that, which is why we are using odd numbers. So we use numbers like 19. When you make this decrease, it reduces by 2. The next one will be 17, decrease by 2 again, 15, and it keeps going like that. So exactly what I did here at row 1.5 is the same thing you're going to do at row 4. And don't forget, row 1.5 is in the front here. I explained how and why I call this the front. When you get to row 4, you are going to be decreasing at the back here. Row 6.5 is going to be in the front. Row 9 is going to be at the back here. So if you're still confused what I mean by row 1.5, row 9, again, watch that video, you understand it. So you just need to keep on making these decreases. I'm going to put the pattern on the screen for what rows you need to decrease in the middle. And for this one, we are meant to have 14 rows. So I'll see you guys at the end of the 14 rows. Once you're done, this is what you have. So I have 14 rows here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And like I said, I made 5 3 single crochet decreases. So I made one at row 1.5, the next one at row 4, row 6.5, 9, and row 11.5. So once you finish, this is what you should have. And for this one, you need to make 2 of it. So I already went ahead to make my second one, and now this is what I have. The next step will be to join all of them. So the first 3 that we made, which were 15 rows, like me, I have this 3 for the first 3 that I made. So I'm just going to lay all of them this way. So I'm going to basically lay the first 3 this way, then the last 2 we just made, you lay them by the side. Now we are going to join all of them at the edges here, but then you need to start with these first 2. When you're done joining these 2, then you join this one to this one, this 3 to this one, then this 4 to this one. So this is how we'll start. We'll start with these 2. So starting with these 2, we'll be joining them. We'll be putting the right sides, like I said, this is the right side. We'll put them together this way and then join here. So we'll be joining them on this side. So I'm just going to take these 3 out, and we'll start with these 2. So we'll put them this way and we'll be joining them here. So this is the right side. This is the one that is the 14 rows, while this is 15 rows. So the 3 15 rows will be in the middle, while the 2 14 rows will be at the edge. So we'll have 3 this way and 2 this way. 15 rows, 14 rows, basically. So as I'm joining it, you need to join them and make sure that they match. Because if I put it this way, you can see that I have this row here, 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 and it keeps going like that till I get to row 14 for this one, which is where this one ends. So we are definitely going to have a little space or gap at the top here. So same thing, when you turn it this way to join it, you need to make sure that when you are joining it, if you start from here, for example, the base here, make sure you are going into the base on this side and coming out of the base here as well. So if I join that this way, I'll have something that looks like this. And when you are joining it, instead of just joining it in this first one here, I would rather you join it in the second one. So if you look here, if you are counting this way, this is the first single crochet opening, this is the second one. So always make sure that for all of them, when you are joining all of them to each other, you are joining them in the second single crochet. So we are joining them in these ones, not these first ones, but in these second ones. Same thing when we turn to the back, we are not joining in this first one, we are joining them in this second one, basically. And when you are joining it, make sure what we have here matches what you have here. So if I go into the second one here, I need to come out of the second one on this side as well, and it's in the middle here, it's in the middle here. And if I go into the third one, if I go into this one here, because this is basically the edge of this row, the second one here, which will be this one, I make sure I'm coming out at the edge in the second one here. Same thing again. So it's basically just going to be middle edge, middle edge, middle edge. Now I just join at the edge here. Now if I go into the middle here of the second one, the second single crochet, like I said, 1 2, the second one, and I'm going into the middle here, I need to come out at the second here as well, and in the middle. So as you can see, this is the edge, this is the edge, this is the middle, the second one, this is the first one, this is the second. So this is basically what I'm going to do. Because when you do it like this, when you join it like this and you turn it to the front, you see that they match up basically. So this row matches, this row matches, this row matches, and it goes like that. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold it this way, join it this way, get the second 15 rows, join it to this one, get the third 15 rows, join it to this one, basically the same way I'm joining this one, and then get the last one, which will be the 14 rows, and join it to this one. So we'll have 5 of them looking like this. So I'm just going to go off camera and join 5 of them and then show you what I have. Once you're done stitching everything together, this is what you have. So we have the 14 rows at the 2 edges, so these 2, and the 15 rows in the middle, so 1 2 3. So this is how it looks at the back, and this is basically how it looks, and this is what it looks like at the front. So everything we did here, we need to do 2 of this. So the same way we made the 14 rows and the 15 rows and joined everything, we need to make 2 of it. So this will be one side, while this will be the second side. The next thing will be to join both halves. So I already started this side, I already joined this half. So if I open it this way, this is where I joined it. And I'm going to show you what I did and how I did it. Okay, for joining both halves, you just need to take the end of both halves. So this is the 14 of one side and this is the 14 of the other side. So I already joined here. So if I open it, this is what we have. So now I'm going to just finish the joining. Now for the joining, this is how we are doing it. If you look on this side, we basically have this line of the first one, this first single crochet in this first line, so basically here going down this way, and we have this second line. This is part of the second line, so basically straight going this way. This is part of the second line, everything here, all this single crochet openings here. So we are joining from the second line here into the first one, and at the back we are joining from the first one here into the second one. This is what I mean. You need to put one on top of the other. So if I put this one on top of this one, I'm going to try to like align it such that these two are sitting on top of these two, because I'll be joining these two to these two. So if I hold it this way and if I turn it to the back, this is what I have. Now if I'm putting my yarn, you can start from the front, you can start from the back, but because I want to hide the tail end of my yarn inside, I'm going to start from the back. So if I'm starting from the back, if I hold it this way, I can start from here. The first one here will go into the second one here, and I come out this way. And then when I pull my yarn, I'll then go from the, you need to start from the very top. I started in the middle here. You need to start from the very top. So from the very top here, the very top for this one is going to be somewhere here, and the very top for the second one here. So I'm basically starting from the first line or row here and going into this one on top here. So basically putting this on top of this. So two, should I call it two lines of the openings? 1, 2 are going to be on top of two lines of the opening this way. So I started from this first line and I went into the second one here. And when I pull my yarn, I'm going to go from the second one here, which is this one, and go into the second one here as well. Or rather from the first one here into the second one here. So this is what I should have. Something that looks like this. So once I go in, I'll then come out from underneath. And when I'm coming out from underneath, I'm coming out from the first one here. I'm just going to loosen this a bit. So I'm coming out from the first one here, not the second one, but the first one here. And when I come out from the first one here, I need to come out into the second one on this side. Now, when I'm going this way, let me show this. This is not clear. When I'm going this way, I need to try to match up my work so that this first row, this second row, this third row, this fourth row, they align properly. So that means when I go into the top one here, when I go into the top here and cross over here, the next one I should come out from here, cross over here. The next one should be here, cross over here. And I'll be repeating the same thing on the back here. So if I restart this, or if I just tighten this place up. So now I'm start from the beginning again. So the first one here, I come out from the back, the second is going to be the second one on this one, while it is the first one here. So I come out from the back, and then I'll just go to the left into the first one on this side, which should be the second one of this one, and then I go in. That's basically all I'll be doing. Now I just did this first one. The second one will be this one, while the third one will be this one. So if I'm going in at the back, I should make sure depending on how you hold it. Like for me, once I hold it like this, I already know that whatever I'm picking at the back is the first one, and I make sure I come out at the second one here. And when I come out at the second one here and I go in this way, I make sure I'm going into the first one here, and I can clearly see the second one on this side. So I go in this way. This is basically like sewing on, should I say sewing on a sewing machine, like the machines that are meant to sew bags. So I'm basically trying to stitch it that way as well, because if this were those machines for sewing the bags, we'll basically just hold it this way and stitch. But then since we are not doing that, we are stitching with our hands, which is why I'm showing you how to stitch it this way. So I just went into this middle one, then the next one is going to be the end here. So I'm going to make sure I come out at the first one here, or rather the second one here, which is going to be the first one of the one at the back, and then go into the first one here, which is going to be the second one at the back. So if I open this up this way, I came out from this first one and I'm going into the second one. So first one at the front, second one at the back. So you just need to alternate it. If one of them is going to be the second one, that means the other one is going to be the first one. And if one is the first one, that means the other one will be the second one, basically. So I'll keep on doing this. Once you're done joining everything, this is what you have. So I've joined this side and I joined this side. So now this is what our bag looks like. If I hold it this way, this is what it looks like. The two ends, and we have the bottom open. So the next thing we'll do, we are going to use our second color of yarn, the green yarn, to make single crochets at the top. So I'm going to start from this one. This one is the end of this front side, so the one that has the 14 single crochets for this one. So we have 2 of them here. So I'm going to start from this end. So all you need to do is we're going to make single crochets at the top round. So it depends on you what you want. You could make single crochets round once. So if I start from here, I'll make single crochets into each and every stitch going round, and when I come back here I stop. Or you could do it 2 times or 3 times depending on what you want. So I think I'm going to do my own either once or twice. So I'll start with this first one, and if you look at each of our rows or each of our panels, if I can call them that, at the top you see these openings. You see these openings. So into these openings, these are where we are going to make our single crochets round. Now starting from this one, I want to start from this one because this one is where we have 14 and the 15 joining themselves. So I want to show you what you do in this place, basically this gap we have here. So if I were to start here, once I start here, I'll add my yarn. I'll add my yarn this way. And once I add my yarn, I'll chain 1. And now I can then start making my single crochets into the next one. So this will be the next one. I'll make my single crochet. Into the one after that, I'll make my single crochet. And just before the end, we have this one. I'll make my single crochet as well. And then I'm going to jump to the top. So after making my single crochet here, the next one is going to be this one. So I'm going to make my single crochet into this one. So it's going to look like this. That means I'm going to do this 2 times. I'm going to go around, come back here, and go around again and come back here. So I'll just keep making single crochets into each and everything. So this is what I have for this one. So I'm basically making single crochets into the top of these ones. So once you come to the top, you see these spaces or these openings. So those are the places I'm making the single crochets. I'm just going to make single crochets into each and everything going around. When I get here, just keep on making single crochets round till I get back here. Once you're done, this is what you have. So I used the green yarn to just go around. We started from here and I just went around once. So I started from here, went around like I showed you, round the entire bag, came back to this side, and I ended it here. So I went around once. If you want, you can do it 2 times or 3 times. Well, I think going around once is okay. Then after that, the next thing we're going to do is make, for the insides, we need to make these for the handles of the bag. Now, this is optional because we need, first of all, we need 4 of these D-rings. So this is what it looks like. This is what one of them looks like. So we need 4 of these D-rings. And to make the part where the D-ring sits on, this is all we need. We need to do something like this, and we are going to make this 4 times. So this is basically just 3 chains and 4 rows. Like if I hold it this way, you can see row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. So you need 4 D-rings and you need to make 4 of this. Then we'll pass them into the D-ring and we can then attach them into the bag. Now this part is optional, it's not compulsory. If you can't get your D-rings, or if you don't have D-rings, or if you don't want to use D-rings, when we make the handle, you can just attach the handle directly to the bag. So you don't necessarily need to use this. This just makes it look nicer and fancier. So you don't necessarily need this. So if you don't want to use this, no problem. When we make the handle, you just attach the handle from the same place or somewhere a bit higher, depending on how long you want your handle to be. So this is not compulsory. But then if you need to use this, after making your 3 chains and 4 rows with your D-ring, if you look at how we have here, don't forget for each side, we had 2 that were 14 rows and 3 that were 15 rows. So for these 3 that were 15 rows, these 2, excluding the one in the middle, these 2 are where we are going to put or connect our handle basically. So if you look here, I already went ahead to put on these 2 sides, and I put one here, meaning the next one is going to go somewhere here. And where I put it, I basically connected my D-ring. Let me just move this way. I connected my D-ring to my yarn that I crocheted, and on this one I'm going to put it 2 single crochets from the bottom, or 2 single crochets if I count from up. So if I count this single crochet row and this single crochet row, so I'm going to attach it basically here this way. So I'm going to go with my needle and I'm going to stitch going in back and forth till I have it attached. So that's basically what I did for this one. On this row, first row, second row, I'm excluding this part where I have the green yarn. So I'm just counting this row, and I attach it on this row. So this is where I have it. Same thing I did for this side as well. So I have both of them here. So this is basically what we are going to do for the handle. Now for the base of the bag, we are also going to use the green yarn for the base of the bag. So all we need to do, we just need to make 19 chains and 1 row. So I have already made my 19 chains here. So this is what I have for my 19 chains, and I'm going to go back into each of the 19 stitches or the 19 chains, making single crochets till I get back to the end here. So I just finished making my 19 chains, and this is what I have. So now what I'm going to do, I'm basically just going to take out my yarn from my hook, pull this way back, and I'm going to basically pass, this is what I normally have. So now I'm going to pass this 1 row I have into this one I just pulled out. So I'm just going to pass it under it and kind of like pull it this way and then pull on my yarn. So if you didn't get what I did, we finished our row here, we ended here, and I removed my hook. It was like this. I then took out my hook and then pulled my yarn till it was long enough. Then I put my row into it. If you've worked in the rounds, you understand what I'm doing. So once I do that, I can then start afresh from this part. So this part where I pulled it in, I'm going to put my hook into there, pick my yarn, and then make a chain. So now I'm about to walk in the round going up, which is why I did what I just did. So what I just did now, after pulling my yarn and pulling it and doing what I just showed you into this same place, I put my hook in and I grabbed my yarn and I chained 1. So now this is going to be the end of our walk. We are going to walk in the rounds going back till we get back here. So when we walk in the round, single crochets into everything and we come back here, that's going to be the first row. So now I just chained 1. The next opening I see is this one just here. I put my hook into it and make a single crochet. So I'm just going to keep on working single crochets going around till I get back here. To know where you started from, you can put a stitch marker there, just so you know that you started from this particular place. And when you get back to that place, you know that that row is complete. So that's the point of putting a stitch marker there. So this is where I'm going to put my stitch marker, so that once I get back here, I know that this is where I started from. So I'm just going to continue making single crochets into each and every stitch. So now we'll be making single crochets in the round, and the stitches where we'll be making them here are our chains, our 19 chains that we have on this side. And when we get to this part and done, the ones where we'll be making it into here, if you look at these V's are the single crochets we made when we came from here to this end. So we're just going to make single crochets into everything. So we're making single crochets into this opening, this opening, this opening, this opening, this opening, this opening. We'll make that till we get to the end. And then when we turn, let me turn this properly. When we turn, we'll then start making single crochets into the single crochet rows we have here. Like for example, this first V we have here, we'll make a single crochet into this place, make a single crochet into this place, make a single crochet into this place, and we'll just keep on making single crochets. When we get back here, we'll chain 1 and continue going again. So we'll keep on making single crochets in the round till we've done that 7 times. And when you do that 7 times, this is what you have. So which is why this is what the base looks like. So if you make single crochets in the round into everything I just showed you now, and you do that 7 times, this is what you have. You have something that looks like this. Okay, so once you're done crocheting the base, this is what you have. And we are going to fit all 5 of these sides and all 5 of that side. Basically the entire thing we have here into the base. So I'm going to hold it this way and kind of like put it into the base this way. So if I push this, because I'm basically trying to force all of this, basically the entire base, into this small thing we just made. So if I put this way, if you successfully put it, it should look something like this. We are going for something that looks like this. And if I pull on the 2 needles that I have, it's going to help make it look nicer. So when you put it this way, like I said, you need to take your time sewing this part. So when you put it this way, I can then take my needle and reinforce this particular side. Make sure that as I'm going in here, I'm picking the green one we just did and this part of this side, so that we are trying to join this part to this part inside. So we are trying to have something that looks like this. So you can join it this way, as I'm holding this way, open it this way, and join it this way, so that it is tightened in this part, basically. So we're going from here. Let's see. Okay, here. So we're going here, tighten. I'm just basically trying to join here to this particular spot. So I do that, we'll have this place, the edge, joined to this spot here. Let me just finish this off. So we have the edge of this side joined to this spot here. Same thing we are going to do for this side. So we can just open this part up. I can turn it this way because it's easier for me doing it with my right hand. Open this part up this way. Make sure that we are joining this edge to this edge. So if I come out from here, I can then join here and then join this part again. So now when I pull it, you can see that the edge here is joined to the edge here. So I'm just going to finish this off. So now once I do that, once the 2 edges are joined to the edges here, you can then gradually open this back this way, making sure that it's the same on both sides. So you pull it in, basically. So we pull it in and it looks like this. So now once it looks like this, the next thing we are going to do is basically to stitch round. So once you've made sure that the edges are well tightened and they are good to go, then as you are holding the bag this way, you should have the base looking like this. So now we are going to stitch round. We're basically going to stitch round the top of the bag, making sure that these are inside. So the easiest way to do that is when I go in this way, I can open this to look at it, make sure I am picking up the part where I am and then coming back to the green one. So I'm basically stitching on a line this way. So I'm going to stitch round the bag and also stitch round this side as well. Make sure I'm catching everything. So I'm going to go off camera and stitch everything, and then I'll show you what I have. So the beginning part that will make it easier for you is what I just did for the edges here. So make sure that you get that correctly, and once you get that correctly, stitching every other thing will be easier. Okay, so once you're done stitching the base, so what I basically did after stitching the 2 sides like I showed you, I counted 13 from the top. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13, which was here. Then below 13 for all of them, this one was 12. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So it was 12 for these 2 and 13 for these big ones. So below 12 and 13, I basically held it and I put my needle inside here and I came out this way, making sure I picked the green and the yellow yarn. So that's what I did round, going round. Same thing I did on this side as well. So this is what the inside of our bag looks like now, and we are almost done. The last thing left to do is the handle for the bag. So the next thing will be to make the handle, and for the handle we are going to be making the thermal stitch. So for the thermal stitch, we start off by chaining 4, and the fourth one is, after making our chains, the fourth one is going to be our turning stitch. So we'll make single crochet back into the third, into 3 stitches going back. But then when we are doing this, when you're making the chain, first of all, try to make the chains a bit loose, not too tight. And secondly, when you're making single crochets going back, instead of making it normally we'll go into this stitch here and make our single crochets going back. But for this one, we are going to just turn our work. And when we turn our work, the back of our work looks like this. So into these ridges that we have here, like into here, here, and here, those are the places we are going to make single crochets. So starting off, into the first one, I'll make a single crochet into this first one, which is why I said when you make your chains loose, so that when you're doing this first part is easier for you to do. So I'm going to make a single crochet into this first one. Into the second one, I'll make a single crochet, and into the third one, I'll make a single crochet. And this last one, you can just pull. Like I said, the fourth one was our turning chain here. So now when we finish making those 3 single crochets into those top ridges, this is what we'll have. We'll then chain 1, and now when we chain 1 and turn this way, when we hold our work this way, we can see that normally we would have gone this way, which means we are picking up these 2. For this V that we have here, we are picking up these 2. But for the thermal stitch, we won't be picking up these 2. Rather, what we'll do is, instead of picking up both of them, we'll pick up the back loop here, and we'll come to this side and pick up the front loop on this other side. So let me repeat that again. So instead of picking up these 2 here, we'll pick up just the back loop, and on this side, we'll pick up just the front loop. And when we pick those 2 up, we'll make a single crochet. We'll go to the next one, the next stitch, the same thing. And whenever you are working this, make sure you count your stitches so that you are sure. Because while looking at it now, I can see that this is going to be my next back loop, and this is going to be my next front loop. And at the end, this will be my next back loop, while this will be my next front loop. So I'm going to make single crochets into those remaining 2. So this one with this, while the last one is going to be this one with this. And when I make that last single crochet, I'll chain my work, I'll chain and turn my work, and we just keep on repeating this. So again, these 2 V, this is the front loop, this is the back loop. So instead of holding it this way, I'm actually holding it this way. So I'm going to go into this back loop, and then for this one, the front loop, when you look at it this way, the front loop is going to be here again as well. So same thing for the next one, back loop, front loop of this one. Same thing again for the last one, back loop, front loop of this one. And then I chain 1 and turn. And once you keep on doing that, your work will keep on increasing basically. So as you can see, we move from here and now we're here. So when we get here again, back loop, front loop of this one. The longer you do it, the more it gets easier as your work increases. So again, back loop, front loop of this one, and the easier it will be also for you to see the back loops and the front loops. Back loop here, front loop of this one. And I finish my single crochet and I chain 1, and I keep on repeating that. So this is all we are doing: back loop, front loop of this one, back loop, front loop of this one. And you notice that most times towards the end here, it will feel like the stuff is getting tighter, but then still pick out your 2 loops. So this is the back loop and this is the front loop. So I'll make my single crochet, I'll then chain 1 and continue. So this is all I'll keep on doing. So after working my straps, my handle, this is what I have. And the main reason for working the thermal stitch is because it's going to be stronger. This feels stronger compared to if we just worked single crochets or half doubles and all of that. So which is why I chose this to make the straps, because working the straps with thermal stitch makes the handle of the bag feel stronger. So this is what we have. So we need to actually do 2 of this, so 1 strap for each side of the bag. And after you work your straps, the next step will be to attach them to your bag. So like I said, if you didn't want to use these D rings, you don't need to use them. It's not compulsory. What you just need to do now is take your straps, attach it to the same place, and then attach it to the bag basically, and your bag will be ready. But if you use the D rings, the same principle applies. You're just going to pass your straps into the D rings like this, and then stitch your straps. So pass it this way, and then I basically left this yarn hanging so I can use this to stitch it on this side. So I'm going to stitch it on this side, and the other handle of the bag, pass it on the other side this way, and stitch it as well. So when I'm done, one handle of the bag is looking this way. I'm going to do the same thing as well for this other side. So I'm just going to finish up and stitch this behind the scenes, and then I'll show you the final bag, what I have. So if you don't use the D-rings, just stitch this directly on the bag. If you use your D-rings, then you can put it this way and just stitch the handle.